Alright YouTubers, coming back at you with a pretty exciting new flashlight review. This is a brand new product from Olight. This is the S1R baton. The S1 baton is probably one of the more famous EDC lights out there, and this makes an improvement on that in quite a few ways, but one of the bigger ways is it now has the rechargeable base similar to the S10. This is an S10 here. But and we'll go over the charging system here in a minute, but so really cool new product just came out. Big power upgrade on this one too as far as your amount of lumens it outputs. So let's go over the specs a little bit. So you have a moonlight mode for 0.5 lumens. You have a low mode of 12 lumens, a 60 lumen medium, a 300 lumen high, and then a 900 lumen 900 lumens, that's what I said, out of this little guy, on turbo mode. Now that runs for about a half an hour, not very long. You're going to get, or half an hour, maybe even less than that. It's not very long, maybe about 5 minutes actually on 900 lumens. So you're not going to get a ton, you're not going to get that 900 lumens very long, but if you need it, you have it. And then it'll cycle back down to a lower, anywhere probably around, I would say closer to 500, because that's what the S10R and the previous S1R were on high, it was 500. So, but it does have the ability to reach 900 lumens. The clip is adjustable. I have it set to bezel down, but it comes bezel up. But this is one of the lights you can actually switch it on, which I really like. And a couple other new improvements, like I said, the charging. It still has the magnetic base, which people love, and I think it's really cool. Let's see if I have something that's metal here. That must not be metal. He looks around the room for something metal. Oh, how about just the charging base? So here's your charging base, and you can see that's how it charges. So it uses the magnetic tail cap that you can use for pretty much anything that it'll attract to metal, and then this is how it charges. Just snaps on like that. Uses a USB. So it's a new charging system. Their previous one that I have on the S10 and the S30R is a magnetic base like this. Now it's still compatible with that, which is cool. This is not plugged in, obviously. It still works with that if you have one of those, but this is the new charging method, which I think is a lot better. It's a lot more portable. You can take it with you everywhere, keep it in your EDC bag or in your car or whatever. Charge your light when you need to. Really, really huge. I mean, I've said it on quite a few last videos, having the ability to recharge the light on the light without having to use like a charger or something, to me is a huge deal. And that's kind of what, for me, is what I've, my current EDC light is a Phoenix TC, 12. What I just remembered, well, I just reviewed it. I'll have to look back. I'm too many flashlight numbers on my mind. No, TC12 is a Thronite. The Phoenix light I just reviewed recently is my current EDC light because it has that charging capability, and it uses a similar style of magnetic charging, except for it charges right here. This is on the base, which I actually like better. This light's actually more compact, and it puts out quite a bit more lumens as well. So I think this is going to be an easy switch for me to switch over to this for my EDC light. So let's look at the S10 comparable. You can see that the S1 is quite a bit smaller. Well, that view is not the best. There we go. Quite a bit smaller light, even though they use exactly the same battery, the Rechargeable CR123A. So they use the exact same battery, yet the S1 is quite a bit more compact than the S10. So I like the S10 because it was rechargeable. Did I switch the tail caps up? I might have. Oh, look at that. They're not compatible. Thought they might be. So the S10 is a little bit longer and a little bit thicker actually. The battery goes that way on this one. So this one's even more compact, puts out more power, and it uses a better charging system. So it's a big upgrade. I know a lot of people love the S1, but it wasn't rechargeable until now. So this is a big upgrade. I love the anodized blue ring around the bezel here, as well as the forward switch. This version that I have of the S10 doesn't, but they do have one that has that version. So very similar buttons. This has got more of a metallic feel. This is more rubberized. They work pretty much exactly the same. So very, very similar lights. This, just like I said, is the newest version. Just came out on the market. I mean, they just sent it to me today, and I was actually kind of a surprise package in the mail, which is pretty cool. So Let's go through the mode. So if you hold down the light for more than 1 second, you get into the moonlight mode. Now it has a memory, so if you turn it off there, that's where it's going to come back to. And then to cycle through the loads, you just hold down the button. There's your highest mode, and it goes back to low. So if I turn it off here and hold it down, it goes into moonlight. And then you can save that as your default as for the memory, which I really like. I definitely would do that myself. I like to have in the moonlight mode as the first mode, because sometimes you just don't need all that lumens, and you don't want to be able to see. So it comes in this packaging here with your 5-year warranty. It came with your instruction manual, some O-rings, the clip obviously, and then this cool little soft case for it too. It's pretty neat. So let's go ahead and kind of test this. I'm going to roll in some footage here of how how it compares to another light that I reviewed recently, which is an 18650 light that's producing about 1,000 lumens, and you'll see how well, even on high, that this can really compete with with those bigger flashlights. If you really need that amount of light, then you're going to be able to get it in such a small package, which is really cool. A few more stats here. Your max beam distance is 145 meters. It is IPX8 waterproof. It also has a hidden strobe mode. If you quickly triple click the side switch, it goes into strobe. So, but the memory does not remember the strobe, which is actually kind of nice. So that would be annoying. And it has a lockout and unlock mode. So when the flashlight is off, you press and hold the side switch for about 2 seconds to access the button lockout mode. And first it'll go into moonlight mode, and then it'll switch off to signal lockout. Then if you press and hold the switch for less than 1 second without releasing it, there'll be a red indicator below the switch that will turn on for a short time to signal it's still in lockout mode. So to unlock it, you just keep holding the switch for over 1 second, and then it goes back to moonlight. So it's pretty easy to unlock as well. Pretty cool little flashlight. I'm pretty stoked about it. Let's go ahead and roll in that footage and kind of show you how it compares to a bigger 18650 light. I also compare it to a Nightcore, the Nightcore T10 that I just recently reviewed. That's 920 lumens, and I think you'll see that this little guy holds its own pretty well. Stay tuned. All right, so we're outside with the Olight S1R. This is the lowest mode, and you're barely going to even pick that up probably. Bump it up to low. Which is 12 lumens. Medium is 60 lumens. Mode 3 is 300 lumens. And ready for it? Bam. 900 lumens. Let's go over to the shine on the treehouse over there. See, it's plenty bright. 900 lumens. Let's compare it here to the, sorry, moving the flashlight around a lot, Lumentop SD Mini, which is also around 900 lumens. That's your Olight on the left, Lumentop on the right. Very similar. Hard to tell a difference. So I'd say that 900 lumens claim is pretty accurate. You don't get a whole lot of runtime on this though. That's the only downside. But how often do you really need 900 lumens? That's the question. Sorry, moving the tripod around here. And there's the shed over there that we usually look at. So it just eliminates that whole thing. Pretty awesome for such a small light. Alright, here's some in the garage shots too. Olight on the left, Lumentop on the right. pretty dang similar. The Lumen Top's actually 1,000 lumens, so it should be a little bit brighter. Alright, here's some indoor shots. Lumen Top on the right, and there's the Olight. Lumen Top. Side by side. Hard to tell any difference there. Oh, excuse me, that's not the Lumen Top, my bad. This is the Night Core that I just reviewed. MT1A. Forgot I switched lights, it gave me kind of different. This is 920 lumens. They look pretty much identical. Alright, so a few things that I forgot to mention that it is running a Cree XML2 emitter there, LED, and it also came with a lanyard, which I must have misplaced when I opened the package. So it has a lanyard attachment right here, same as on the S1s. So the S1R, which is I think a really highly anticipated flashlight from Olight. I would like to see. One of the cool things they've done with the S1 series of lights is that they've done like some custom versions in copper and rose gold and titanium, and I would love to see this one. I used to have a titanium S1 at one point, and I'd like to see this this black anodized one in that same kind of new finish with the recharging capability. I think that would be pretty awesome, and it seems like it'd be pretty capable and easy to do. You know, if they can do it in the aluminum, why not be able to do it in that one? Alright, so to wrap up the video, this light is currently only available on pre-order from Going Gear, $64.95 Going Gear. Also, you can get this from the Olight store. I'll put a link in the description to both. Not available on Amazon to purchase yet, and I believe Going Gear is the only other retailer I know of besides the Olight store where you can actually buy this light. So this is kind of a special treat. It's not even actually really out in the wild yet, and I'm grateful for Olight for sending this to me, and so I can do this first review on this light. So any questions or comments on this one, guys, leave them down below, and we will see you on the next video.